You know Pokemon as the world of cute creatures, battles, and friendship. But beneath the colorful exterior lies a strange, sometimes dark set of theories that the game's anime and fandom have built over decades. These are the 7 levels of Pokemon lore, a journey from affordable beginnings to the unsettling corners of the Poke universe you probably didn't want to see. Level 1, the Electric Mascot. We start at the surface, where Pokemon feels like a world full of friendship, fun, and discovery. Pikachu first appeared in Pokemon Red and Green, introduced as an ordinary electric type with round cheeks, a small yellow body, and a tail shaped like a lightning bolt. What set it apart early on was how it behaved both in-game and in the anime. In Pokemon Yellow, Pikachu followed the player on screen, reacted to interactions, and displayed visible emotions. The first Pokemon to actively show affection toward the trainer. That mechanic became one of the most memorable features of the early series. The anime pushed Pikachu even further into the spotlight. Ash's Pikachu refused to stay inside a Pokeball in the very first episode, choosing instead to travel beside him. Their partnership shaped the tone of the show, shared food, comedic electric shocks, and moments of loyalty during battles. Scenes like Pikachu defending Ash from a flock of Spearow or cheering during victories became core memories for an entire generation watching every Saturday morning. Outside the games and anime, Pikachu spread rapidly across merchandise starting in the late 1990s. Plush toys, school bags, trading cards, and promotional appearances. Its cry, its sparks, and even its silhouette became instantly recognizable, turning it into the global face of the franchise. Pikachu wasn't designed to be the mascot, but its friendly appearance, expressive behavior, and emotional connection to players made it the symbol of Pokemon long before the series expanded into films, new regions, and hundreds of creatures. Level 2, the Strange Companion. This level introduces the first hints that Pokemon isn't entirely innocent. Drifloon first appeared in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, drifting slowly through fields and towns like a harmless balloon with a stitched smile on its face. Its string dangles invitingly, shaped like a little hand. But the Pokedex reveals the truth behind that charm. Drifloon is drawn to children, and when they grab its string, it tries to carry them off. Several entries go even further. In Pokemon Sun, Moon, and Ultra Sun, the games state directly that children who mistake Drifloon for a balloon and hold onto it sometimes vanish. The unsettling details continue across regions. In Pokemon Heart Gold, Drifloon is described as a spirit born from gathered souls. In Pokemon Sword, it's said to tug on children out of jealousy because it wishes it could actually be one. The contrast between its cute appearance and the danger it poses gives Drifloon one of the darkest sets of official lore in the entire franchise. Players began noticing small touches that made the stories feel even eerier. In Diamond and Pearl, Drifloon appears only on Fridays outside Valley Windworks, leading to years of speculation and discussion online about why this specific timing existed. Fans traded stories on forums and early Pokemon sites about in-game encounters where Drifloon seemed to drift just a little too close to the player character or linger longer than expected, adding to the sense that the Pokemon wasn't simply floating, it was watching. Every generation kept Drifloon's unsettling nature intact. The games never softened the implication. It targets children. It is born from spirits, and its cheerful face hides something predatory. Drifloon may look harmless, but its lore marks the first moment in the Pokedex where players realize that some Pokemon live firmly on the border between whimsical and unnerving. Level 3, Haunted Pokemon. We step further into the darkness now, where even the smallest creatures carry stories heavier than they appear. Cubone, the lonely Pokemon, carries one of the darkest stories in the Pokédex. Its skull helmet isn't just a disguise, it's the skull of its deceased mother. The cries of a Cubone at night are said to echo through forests and mountains, leaving other Pokemon unsettled by the sound. Beyond the official lore, the Cubone creepypasta adds a chilling layer. Online, a story circulated about a lost Cubone that followed trainers at night. Players claimed that if you wandered the tall grass after dark in the original Red and Blue games, a wild Cubone would appear with unusually high-level stats, refusing to be caught. The in-game sprite would sometimes glitch, showing a faint image of a crying child inside the skull. Trainers reported that their game would sometimes freeze after encountering it, and that the cries would play faintly in the background even outside battle. In battles, Cubone's bone isn't just a weapon. Moves like Bone Club and Bone Meringue are framed by this grief. Every strike feels like survival against a world that took everything from it. Fans expanded the tale with theories of Cubone families lost to tragedy, each wandering silently through caves and forests, their sorrow lingering long after the console is off. Level 4. Horrific Evolution. We descend into a level where evolution stops being reassuring and starts becoming dangerous. Typhlosion's entire existence is built on a power so volatile that the official games repeatedly warn players about what it can do. The Pokédex describes it as capable of causing explosions, powerful enough to consume everything around it. And when angered, its flames can erase its surroundings in an instant. One of the clearest examples of this appears in Pokemon Legends Arceus when the Hisuian Typhlosion line is tested at Jubilife Village's training grounds. During the demonstration, the flames erupt far larger than expected, scorching the walls and forcing the guards to evacuate the area. It's a small scene, but it shows something that has always been in the lore. This evolution isn't about becoming stronger, it's about unleashing something barely controlled. The contrast makes the story unsettling. Cyndaquil begins timid, shy, and quiet. By the time it evolves twice, that harmless ember becomes a living furnace. Typhlosion's fire isn't decorative. The games describe it as reaching explosive temperatures, and in multiple Pokédex entries, it's said to wipe out fields in a flash if provoked. Its rage doesn't build slowly either. It snaps, and the eruption follows immediately. Players who grew attached to their small Cyndaquil experienced this shift firsthand. One moment it's hiding behind them, and the next it's a creature whose silhouette blurs behind rolling heat waves, flames racing down its back. The sudden spike from timid to terrifying is what gives Typhlosion its place in this level. Its evolution forms a documented pattern. The stronger it becomes, the harder it is for the world around it to remain safe. Level 5. The Disappearing Pokemon. Gengar slips into this level the way a shadow slips across a wall. Silently, almost playfully, but never without intention. The Pokédex has always warned that it steals the life force of those it targets, but the stories people tell around it make that warning feel much more real. One of the most circulated tales comes from a player who claimed to encounter a Gengar in Fire Red that didn't behave normally. According to the story, it appeared in Pokemon Tower even though Gengar can't naturally spawn there. The moment the battle began, the music distorted and the Gengar used Curse, but instead of the usual animation, the screen supposedly flickered to black and showed the player's own sprite slowly losing color. When the game returned to normal, the player's lead Pokemon had fainted and the Gengar was gone without leaving a Wild Gengar fled message. Whether it was a glitch or an imagination, the idea stuck. Gengar doesn't just vanish, it takes something with it. That idea fits strangely well with the Pokemon's design. Its grin never changes, even when it melts into shadow. Its body is described as partially intangible, letting it slip through walls or floors before anyone can react. In battle, it moves like a flicker. Here one moment, gone the next, leaving only a cold draft where it stood. Stories online only make it feel more alive. Some claim Gengar can appear behind the player's character sprite in certain hacked versions, matching their movements exactly, as if it's waiting for an opening. Others describe nights when Gengar's laugh echoes through the speakers even when no battles are happening, a short, sharp sound that cuts through the game's silence like a breath on the back of the neck. It's both prankster and predator. Gengar plays tricks, but every trick seems designed to pull someone a little closer to the dark. When it fades away, it doesn't just disappear, it leaves the sense that something is still watching from just beyond the screen. Level 6. Urban Legends. At this level, the darkness moves from creatures to spaces and sound. Lavender Town entered the fandom like a whispered warning, a quiet, pale place where the music felt slightly wrong the first time it played. That high-pitched, wavering melody had an edge to it, the kind of tone that makes the air feel thinner. In the late 90s, Japanese players reported headaches or dizziness while wandering the town, and the rumor spread that something in the sound frequencies was to blame. It wasn't helped by the fact that around the same time, Japan experienced a real nationwide incident where thousands of children got sick during a Pokemon TV broadcast. The event had nothing to do with Lavender Town, but the internet fused them together anyway. That fusion became the backbone of the Lavender Town Syndrome creepypasta, the claim that the original audio contained binaural tones capable of unsettling younger players. Screenshots circulated of supposed early cartridges with altered spectrograms hidden in the music. Some showed ghostly faces, others spelled out words. None of it was verified, but the images spread fast, adding a new layer of unease to a town already defined by quiet dread. One of the most famous stories comes from an old forum post where a player claimed their game behaved strangely the moment they stepped into Lavender Town. According to the tale, their Pokemon's sprites would flicker whenever the theme reached its highest note. The player wrote that after leaving the area, the sprite distortions didn't stop. Their character's reflection in ponds appeared as a ghost from the Pokemon Tower instead. The post ended abruptly, leaving the thread frozen in mid-conversation like a signal cut off mid-transmission. These legends clung to Lavender Town because it already felt like a place holding its breath. The Tower of Graves, the ghost encounter, where the game refuses to let you fight back, the music that never settles into a comforting loop. Everything about the town invited the idea that something inside it was reaching beyond the cartridge. Level 7, Cursed and Forbidden. Level 7, Cursed and Forbidden. Missing Number entered the Pokemon world as a mistake, a creature that wasn't supposed to exist, but one that players could summon with a handful of strangely precise actions. Talk to the old man in Viridian City, watch his catching tutorial, fly directly to Cinnabar Island, surf along the right-hand coastline. The moment the water shifts and the corrupted sprite slides onto the screen, it feels like something in the game has split open. Sometimes it appears as a scrambled mass of pixels, other times it becomes the Ghost Battle sprite or a distorted Aerodactyl fossil. The encounter multiplies your 6th inventory item to 128, corrupts Hall of Fame data, and can cause permanent graphical glitches if saved afterward. Effects documented and confirmed since 1996. Players treated it like a secret ritual. Word spread in schoolyards and early internet forums. Catching Missing Number could break your game, but running from it would still leave traces in your file. Stories began circulating of save files turning strange after repeated encounters. Pokemon nicknames replaced with garbled text, music slowing down in certain towns, random battles triggering with Pokemon far beyond the normal level caps. Screenshots from old message boards showed warped sprites creeping into unrelated menus as if the glitch had spread beyond the coastline where it first appeared. One of the most shared early creepypasta stories described a player who fought Missing Number late at night. After the battle, their starter's sprite appeared stretched and distorted, but only when viewed in the party menu. In battle, it looked normal. Another tale told of a cartridge where Missing Number replaced random NPC dialogue with the ghost's ... text from Pokemon Tower. None of these claims were ever verified, but they circulated for years, vague, eerie, and always presented as if they came from a friend of a friend. The glitch carried the kind of unpredictability that made kids nervous to try it. Items multiplied, maps flickered, and the Hall of Fame turned into nightmares of scrambled faces and broken data. It was the first time many players realized a game they trusted could fracture, that something hidden inside its code could emerge uninvited and leave fingerprints all over their progress.